everyone, so this is the look that I did today. This is kind of a New Year's look. I did a kind of a neutral New Year's look. Click subscribe so you can see when I post new ones, and I'll link it down in the bottom tab. But as far as the new one goes, this is basically that one. Okay, I'm not making any sense. The first one was neutral, so it was kind of glittery, kind of sparkly, kind of everyday. This one, however, is completely blinged out, stuff like that. It's more New Year's Eve. It's definitely got a lot of glitter going on. You've got these fake lashes with rhinestones. And it's more of kind of a party thing. It should stay on all night because we do use a lot of primers. But it's kind of the perfect thing. It'll make your eyes pop underneath bright lights out at night. And then I thought New Year's Eve, blacks, blues, it just kind of made sense. And there are so many different places to use glitter like throughout the year. I thought that this was one that you could really go out with a bright color in glitter, such as a blue or a black. You know, normally even with glitter you probably shouldn't do that, especially if it's spring or summer. Unless it was really light blue for like summer nights, I'll do one of those. But this is a very dark look for New Year's Eve. I did light lips, you guys can do whatever, and I'm accessorizing with just a plain black tee and a shawl. The problem is that you do not want to take away from this look by wearing flashy clothes or things like that. So I have this really neutral shawl with just kind of black tank top sort of thing. I might add jewelry, I might not. I might put my hair back up, but I'm not sure. So this is how you guys can do it. I hope that you like this look. I hope that you guys can learn from it, and if you have any other requests, feel free to let me know. I'll be doing more glitter tutorials, more naturals, more extremes, so let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll show you how to do this one. Have a happy New Year's, everyone. Have a great time, and make sure that you stay safe. All cuddled up in my shawl. The first thing that I wanted to do for this look is definitely prime your eyes. I used the Urban Decay eyeshadow potion, basically because if you're going to be out all night, if you're going to be, you know, with friends, things like that, you want to make sure that your eye makeup does not come off. Take this color by Nars, it's called Nightflight. It's this really nice kind of shimmery blue. With this, I'm just going to use the first side of the 239. And I'm going to actually clean this first because I just used it on this eye. You can close your lid and pat this on. Don't rub it because that will cause the shadow to end up in places that you don't want because it'll fly like around and it'll land on other places. Oops, I have to apply a safety. I always forget to do that. As I explained to you guys, a safety is basically some white powder or other colored powder that goes underneath your eyes. And what that does is it ensures that you can take it off and it'll come off with any eyeshadow that fell. So for any dark eyeshadow look that I do, I like to apply safety just to make sure that I won't leave, you know, a bunch of color on my face. And it's easily removed with a fan brush. So you just want to stamp it on, and you can only rub it a little bit right there by the crease. That's best to kind of push up and then rub out. From my personal experience. And you're just going to take this all over your lid and then barely up your crease. The next thing that we're going to do in order to get some of the glitter to stick, I really like to use Lash Glue. Wow. I really like to use Lash Glue, but the problem with that here is that it'll dry too fast and it's not going to adhere the way we need it to. Be using is this, and this is called Balm, and the reason that I'm using this is because it is safe for your eyes. A lot of people put lip gloss on their eyes, a lot of people use different cosmetics, and that's okay, but a lot of times they can be bad for you. This Balm is safe for your lips, your eyes, your face, your pets, you name it. You could also use Vaseline, but this is what we're going to put down to ensure that our glitter will stick. And you want to kind of emulsify it, kind of heat it up because it's kind of sticky. If you get it really warm and then it cools down, it'll hold things much better. Once you get some on your brush, you're just going to take that and again pat it all over your lid. And only add the balm to one side of your brush. And only go underneath the crease. We kind of went over the crease with the blue. Only go under the crease. I have two different pigments. One is Jewel Marine and the other is Light Blue. They're both from MAC. The light blue one is a lot brighter, and the Jewel Marine is the darker color. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the other side of this brush, the clean side. Oh, hi, kitty. And you're going to grab that color, and you're just going to place it on the outskirts of your eye. And then you can dip it into your light blue. And that's what's really going to give this look its sparkle. And it's going to adhere really well to the bag balm so that way you have a very glittery eye. You can kind of rub it up now. What I'm going to use is kind of this purplish iridescent white. So this is kind of a duo. This one is Mommy Dearest from Too Faced. It's a really pretty thing. And what you're going to want to do is basically take the white and then even just dab it into the purple so that way you have an even amount of both. And because this purple is really light, it's going to give us the perfect coverage. You're going to want to first take this and push it up into your highlight. Just get your entire brow bone. And after you push it up in there, you're also going to take it a little bit down and just barely cover the very top of your crease where the glitter is. So that way it kind of, the glitter, the wetness kind of changes the color to almost like a darker purple, and you have that really nice line. Again, you're going to go in the exact same way with the balm and apply it to your brush. Something like this that I need to kind of wipe off. And this time go right underneath your eyes. Once you've done that, you can pick up this other one that already has tons of glitter on it and press that right in. What I'm going to do is take this pencil and milk. This is the NYX, I'm not sure. And just kind of color right over that as well. That'll give us a really light kind of highlight in there. And I'm taking the Glitter in Gray by MAC. I have a glittery phone. You're going to pick that up and press it right onto the white. After that, you're probably going to want to clean off your bag balm, especially because this is just pigmented colored glitter. I'm going to apply it to my lips just to make sure that they're moisturized. Yay! After that, I'm taking this gold from Makeup Forever, which I just adore. And you're going to put this just on your wet line. You can do this in another color if you like, but I really like this color because it just brings out my eyes, and it'll bring out both the blue and the green of my natural color. So that really gives us a pop and opens up our eyes. Next, I'm taking my favorite line, Stiletto by Maybelline, and I'm going to do a very, very thin black line. This is just to cover up any of the gaps between the lashes and our natural eye. And you're just going to do this kind of like pin-up without the wing. So just a very nice kind of doed out line. Just strictly follows your natural lash. Once you've got that on, you're going to want to take your lashes. I'm using these by Red Cherry. They're black with this blue iridescent glitter, which is just gorgeous, kind of the rhinestones. Ooh. You're going to want to take them off and shape them to your eye. They are shaped to my eye. I'm doing this just to kind of curl them. And then you're going to want to apply lash glue for this certain look. I definitely recommend using the Duo Waterproof. You can use other ones, but if you're going to be out at night, or if you're going to be out in the evening, if you're going to be eating or, you know, talking with friends or dancing, you want to make sure that this will stay. So wait for it to get very, very tacky. Definitely use this glue. I applied mascara both to the top and bottom so that these will stick. So now I have little rhinestones. And I kind of redid both eyes just to make sure that they both look good. And it's freezing, so I still have my shawl. Kitty? Anyways, the next thing that I did, I also kind of removed the safety with my fan brush. I just kind of swept it off there. You want to leave a little bit on so that it looks like your highlight. Next thing on the list is to take this color. This is Dandelion by Benefit, And it's one of these boxed powders. I'm using just a 168, which is like my favorite brush ever. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to apply it to the cheeks and then a little bit up towards kind of above my ear to my hairline. You want to make sure that both sides are even and that you go down into your contour with this color as well. We are going to contour, but you still want to bring it down. Next, for contouring, you can take Hula by Benefit as well, which is another boxed powder, and just do this on the very outside of your nose to kind of get that safety off and really give you that look. Apply a teeny bit of highlight to your bridge. Of course, you know, dust it off, blend it out. Also, you're going to want to shape your brows. I'll just kind of reshape mine. You can shape them however you want. You can fill them in too. I'm not going to fill mine in just because I'm not a super big fan of filling mine in. But I will just kind of press them into shape. So that way they look manicured. Next, I'm going to take the Apricot Flush number 45 from Maybelline. I'm just going to use the little brush that they give it to you in. And we're just going to use this as our contour. You want to just contour right down your bone. Once you've done that, you can take any brush and just make sure you get the very, very ends. Instead of going on, I'm going up. So this is kind of opposite of the way the bristles grow, just to make sure that it's really light out here and then really dark up by our ears. So then blend this the entire thing. And make sure that they're both even. Because this Safety that I'm using today is also acting as my highlight. Once they look pretty much even, that's when you can go in and do your lips. Now that we've shaped our lip, it looks a lot different. You want to make sure that you're doing something a little bit nude so that it doesn't take away from the look of the eyes. This actually doesn't look terrible, so I guess I could do gloss over that. But I want to make sure that it doesn't look, you know, overdone. So I'm just going to use probably Hug Me, something light from one of the lipsticks. Pretty Please from MAC. It's a really, really light pink. This is super light, but still shimmery. So it's still going to bring our look kind of together. And I'm not going to be doing a gloss just because I don't want this to look overdone. But yeah, that's basically the look. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. It's perfect for New Year's or for an evening out. And, you know, I thought that blues, nights, it kind of made sense. So I hope that you like it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye!